Oh, Twilight. Hi, Pinkies. If, like me, as a teenager you were obsessed with the Twilight movies, you'll remember the constant bickering and discussion between who is hotter, Jacob or Edward, Robert Pattinson or Taylor Lautner. I remember going to school and discussing with my friends who is their crush, who do they like more, who do you think Bella should end up with. I remember all the discussions I had, I remember all the people talking about it and the posters coming out. Some of those posters are burned into my memory, specifically the one of Taylor Lautner with his shirt off. But what I don't remember is the movies themselves. I remember some of the first ones, some of the last ones, but I can't really tell you, are they good movies? Are they bad movies? Are they good movies? Are they bad movies? I certainly enjoyed them as a kid, but do I enjoy them now? I was really interested to learn and rewatch these, and my friend CJ has never seen the Twilight movies, so I'm really excited to watch them with him and do a review, which we've already done, and it's starting right now.
Right at the beginning, she's like, I'm gonna miss my mom and my stepdad. And then it turns the camera and he's like in the background and he goes, hey, come on, I love you both, but we got a plane to catch.
Guys, come on, I love you both. We got a plane to catch.
You got the car like, hey.
It's one of the most 80-yard lines I've ever heard in my life, where like he didn't say anything in the original cut, and then he just recorded, I love you both, let's go get the plane. Nobody just says, I love you both.
And I love you both, but we got a plane to catch. Who
It's not
like that?
Yeah, that's not real.
No one talks like that in real life.
Yeah, I actually wrote down the exact quote was, guys, I love you both, we got a plane to catch. And it's not even just that the one line is 80-yard, it's two 80-yard lines. It cuts right when he says, I love you both. He cuts himself off and says, we got a plane to catch. It's so weird and obvious, and it catches me every time.
I guess it makes sense, because there wouldn't be one long voice thing of that, so you'd have to get, just slap it on top of the other one.
I wonder if it was two different actors, too.
It might have been.
It's like the director or something. I honestly think that might be because I know the creators of Twilight, with all of these books turned into movies, people are really particular about what they change. And I know Twilight is like very Nazi-ish and how close it is to the books. And I wonder if they were really trying to make the audience know she likes her stepdad because the book says that. I don't know.
I guess.
It's so weird.
I don't want next month to be us reading each of the Twilight.
I am probably never going to do that. Well, I will say they've released a new series of books, which is just a gender-bent version of the original story.
Oh, so it's
a girl vampire falling in love with.
Oh,
yeah. No, it's not interesting at all. I don't want to watch it.
Strange. I said strange.
Yeah, the first one has a very indie feel to it. It doesn't feel like a studio decided to make a Twilight movie. Then again, it is. I was thinking about this because I always figured that first one was low budget. And then the next time they made one, they had a ton of money because Harry Potter's popular. But that first one is shot on film. Like, you can see the film grain and everything. And that's not cheap to do.
Oh no! Like I said, it's a very 2000s 80 movie with a lot of like drone pan overs of the woods.
That's true. That's true.
Like the run fast effect, like do that so many different ways, but that it's just like them running in a straight line.
The problem is that one gets worse as the movies go on. Like they graduate from having a camera while the guy's running in place on a green screen to guys running in place on a green screen and the camera like moves past them and stuff, and it's real bad. You'll see it if we get there.
Do I want to see
yes.
I like how in the movie when it was giving the origins of the werewolves and the vampires, they said that they were like colonizers coming in or whatever, and they found out they were vampires, but like they were dressed up as pilgrims, and I'm like, so I was so fucking confused. Then he
Yeah.
just said, if we promise never to tell anybody, you just stay off our land. I said, oh.
No. It's like a treaty. Yeah.
It shows him shaking hands. I'm like, is this Thanksgiving? This is like Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving. I don't know what I'm watching right now.
If you don't tell, we won't
If
tell.
you don't tell anyone, we'll let y'all stay here.
Okay, so who's your favorite character?
Didn't even think about a favorite character.
It's her dad for me, easily. Not even
Yeah,
close.
yeah.
I actually like the Taylor Lautner's dad too, the guy in the wheelchair.
The wheelchair, yeah.
He's kind of cool too, but like Bella's dad is great. Like he's he's down in beers, you
Fun,
know.
but he's also just like a chill parent who could be like anybody's parent.
That's true. That's true. She like leaves the house and he's like, she slips on something and he goes, "Oh yeah, the ice is bad. I put new tires on your truck." And and then
He just felt like such a fucking dad.
yeah, but like
just
an awesome dad. Like who would go out of their way to do that and then not ask for
Oh,
thanks or anything?
oh my God, 4 new tires for no, just out of the blue, just for feeling nice.
Mhm.
Shit, where, my dad might need to rewatch Twilight.
The first day of school, she shows up in the truck and he goes, "Nice wheels" or something like that. And then she goes into
Like,
school
no, I was like,
and she said,
first off,
"Thank you." She
he
said,
looks
"Thank
like
you."
he's
And then,
about,
oh my God.
he looks like he's about 35, but then like then he's like, so he's weird because he's like part of the friend group, but also like an asshole the whole fucking time too.
It's
The
like they needed bullies,
the
but they
friend
also.
dynamic, the friend dynamic in this show is or movie is so. I don't know what. I don't know if Bella's popular because everybody knows her, or if she's a weird outcast and everybody just happens to know her. I
So
just
I wrote in my notes, everybody who is not Bella or a vampire acts like a third grader.
when the Asian guy was hitting on Bella, and then the other guy came and like got her stuff, he's like, "Do you see a Macker trying to Mac?" I said, "Oh my goodness." That was one of the
Oh
few
my God.
lines where he said, "Don't stop a Macker from macking." I said, "Oh wow."
Yeah, no,
What?
all the people flirting on Bella is so strange because when they introduce the reporter Asian kid, like he just immediately pops up next to her and he's like talking like this and he's like, I'm not gonna do a full page front report on you." Ha. And then
Yeah.
like the next scene he's like jealous when another guy is hitting on her. I'm like, what? He's clearly what?
No, no idea what is happening. Well, some people were wearing like the Letterman jacket, so I'm like, oh, they're gonna be jocks. They're just normal people wearing a Letterman jacket.
Yeah,
I was just
yeah.
like, what?
Everybody is like a non-character. Like I honestly think that the reporter kid was told, like he shot a bunch of stuff where he was like a closeted gay reporter, and then they went back in and said, "No, you're competing for Bella's love." And
Just
so
gave him some new lines to say these, say these, say
yeah,
these.
and they said we're gonna cut all that old stuff, and then they just didn't.
Edward's family, and they walk in wearing the all white in the to the school. To
So
the school.
every time I've seen that scene, first of all, it's the most white thing I've ever seen in my life. Second of all, it's like that meme where they say the Queen had a YouTube outro, except it's them having a YouTube intro. Did you also notice when she comes into science class, the really neat excuse they had for her hair blowing in the wind was that she steps in front of a fan. That there's like a
Yes. Oh my God. Like how Edward stopped that truck that was going 30 miles per hour and just left a dent about yay big.
oh yeah, and then he stands there for like a minute looking at
Walked
her.
over the side and nobody saw him just do that shit. I was just like,
So Edward keeps changing his accent. She talks to him and he's doing an American accent some of the time,
I'm Edward Cullen.
and then he'll be like a foreign transfer student later.
Since I'm going to hell.
Oh yeah, my eyes, they change with the fluorescence, and then he goes back to American again. And I'm like, what are you doing? And
he said, what? I like how his excuse was why your eyes change color. It's the fluorescent lights.
that's
And just
such a
runs
stupid
away.
excuse. Yeah, no. And when he runs away, he puts his head down. Every time I watched those scenes with Edward, I kept thinking, are they telling him to do this? Is he hiding a Transylvanian vampire accent? And yes, they were, because whenever the doctor comes in at the hospital, he does it too. He's like, we checked your physical data, seems alright.
It's just like they stand out so bad. I get you're supposed to know who the vampires are, but
Yeah.
like, what if somebody's like that pale walking up to you like, your daughter will be fine, and then
Yeah.
just walks away? I,
And they're not even
um,
like, it's not even like it's several random people. They're all
it's
part
a
of the
family.
same
It's family.
family. So funny.
And two of them are dating. Two of them are dating.
Yeah.
The adoptive family. Two set of relationships in one family.
The villain does not need to be in this movie.
Random, the random like last 30 minutes of the
Yeah.
movie of them
Yeah.
running away from the guy.
It felt like, because Marvel movies do that a lot. Like Iron Man did that. Like the whole movie is about him building the suit, and then at the end he fights like his friend who made an
Yeah,
Iron Man suit.
okay, yeah. Another part of the movie that was hilarious was Bella just doing her magical research on, vampires that she casually has in her local library.
Oh my god,
Uh,
yes.
No, because I took one screenshot because it was like obviously like ancient Mayan or Hispanic or
Yeah.
Mexican stuff, and it just
Yeah.
said the cold ones. I said, "Oh my God, this."
That's
It's
so
like,
funny. Yeah, no, I forgot about that. So I remember watching like a featurette, a behind the scenes documentary, and the way they kept changing the way they would do the vampire skin effect depending on the movie. But like the first one they just did like sparkles, and then the second one they apparently like they took the face and put like they like removed the face in post and then put it back on with ivory texture. The fact that the vampires don't bleed is so fucking annoying. It makes me so mad because like there's some brutal deaths, or it would have been brutal if they weren't made of like stone. Like what
like
is
when she
that?
ripped off the dude's head, like that would
Yeah.
have been crazy. That would have been crazy.
I mean, and there's ways to shoot it where it'd still be interesting to like if you rip off somebody's arm and it goes like crawl, like it's like a piece of stone. Like that's kind of cool, and like the inside of it is and the inside of it's like red, but like I don't know. I wish they would bleed. I wish like he would rip off the
Yeah,
head and it just gore, you
and
know.
I wish I would be like, it's just logic that a vampire would bleed, but this movie makes no logical sense, so it doesn't matter. I wanted to talk about the vampire baseball game because that was great, and then all of a sudden the Jamaican black guy comes in.
Oh, I forgot about him. I kind of like him.
Yeah, no, he was cool because then he was funny because he like 2 minutes later came in and said, I don't want to fight nobody. They're gonna be here. I'm gonna walk away,"
Yeah.
which is a very black person thing to do. So I support it. I like it. 2 minutes before he stepped into the scene,
Yeah.
the mother called the big brother. The mom called the big brother her little monkey man, and then the black guy just steps in this. Hold up. Said, "That's
Yo.
my little monkey man." And then Edward had talked about like spider monkeys earlier in the movie.
No.
And then,
Oh no.
and then the black high school character walked in. I'm like,
Again, his character is so strange because like he is supposed to be a bully, but he's literally friends with the people she's friends with. Like
so I'm confused if it's like, friendly, like, do a fry at you,
I thought it
or if
was
it's
yeah, that's the problem with it because the first time he immediately insults her. He's the first high schooler that she even talks to.
wheels.
Yeah, nice
Nice
wheels. And she goes thanks, and then one of his friends goes nice one. Like, and he goes thanks, man. And then after that, like, remember she sits down at the lunch table and he runs up and kisses her on the cheek, and then the other guy who's next,
Yeah, that was so weird.
that's not playful. That's just like insane.
That is definitely sexual assault in a high school that got unchecked. That's crazy.
Oh, what about the teacher? Do you like the teacher? He was probably my
Yes,
second favorite teacher. My favorite character, maybe.
the biology teacher.
Yeah, their one teacher.
I did like it because they were talking some real biology, talking
Oh
about
yeah.
metaphase, anaphase, talking about plex,
I liked the idea.
Dr. Jones.
Oh yeah, Dr. Jones type stuff. The golden onion thing I thought was really funny. where he was like,
Oh yeah.
I also liked that whenever Edward was looking at the things, he would immediately get it because apparently they've been going to high school for years, right? Because they got to keep blending in. I
Ah.
liked that little bit. But later in my notes, I put, I don't like the teacher anymore. Like, it stopped being funny and it started being cringe like everybody else in this movie. He goes, look, guys, I got compost tea. Don't drink it! I always... And then right after that, they walk out, and the closeted Asian reporter guy...
Worm.
Yeah, he's got the worm on a stick, and he's like, ha ha, look at this. And I'm like, again, you're supposed to be a closeted reporter guy. What are you doing? Music is good.
No,
The music kept me watching too.
Yeah, they had a good soundtrack. That's yeah. When they all went surfing, apparently in that ice cold ass water, where the waves are like taller than buildings, they just decided to go
Oh
surfing.
my god, I forgot about
Talking about
that.
let's go to the beach. Everyone will be there.
Oh, what do they call it? Da rock? Da bomb?
Yeah, like it was the something, and then Eric, not Eric, Edward was like, "Oh, it's just so crowded over there."
Is there something wrong with that beach?
It's just a little crowded.
There, like, yeah, what a great excuse! It's just so fucking crowded.
Everything about Edward's performance is like, I don't know. Like, there's a certain... He reminds me a lot of Anakin in the prequels, a lot.
Yeah.
But there's a certain, like, likability about those. Like, it's so cringe that it's kind of nice in the prequels. Like, they talk so Shakespearean. Like, he says, we must defeat the Sith Lords. But there's something about him that you like, you know? With Edward, he's like, look, you smell so delicious, I want to kill you.
Yeah.
And like...
he said, I'm so protective over you.
Oh my god.
This is, like, you're, like, not 17. This is an actual child.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, I remember that a lot when I'm watching the movies, that he's, like, hundreds of years old. What?
Said he was like 110, 108 or something like that. Wait.
There's like a part where they're coming down the stairs and they're like, this wall, this big frame is filled with yearbooks. Oh no, graduation hats. It's graduation hats from all the high schools that they've graduated over and over again, because they have to keep every time.
Yeah. When they went to his house.
Yeah, I always liked that little detail. I kind of like their house too, but it's something that had to grow on me. There's a thing you've got to do when you like when your main characters live somewhere. You've got to, like, even with the Mandalorian, you really like the ship, because whenever you're in the ship, you have a really good idea of where everything is. Like, you could tell me where the cargo bay is in the Mandalorian ship. You could tell me where Jerry Seinfeld's room is in the Seinfeld house, or like, and Full House. You know, you could even tell me what street it's on, pretty much. But like with the Twilight house, it's like, I don't know, there's glass on the wall here, and then there's stairs here, and it's got like a white railing. Sometimes it's a cabin, sometimes it's a modern architecture building. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, it is a very weird modern house, like you find in GTA or something. Like, it doesn't seem like a realistic house to own.
Yeah,
like, I'm sure it is a house someone bought, but still.
It's also interesting to me that, like, they'll have these interesting ideas. Like, when they go into Edward's room, he doesn't have a bed, and she's like, oh, you don't have a bed? And he's like, no, I don't have a bed. I don't sleep. And it's like, okay, interesting idea. You didn't have to say it out loud. Like, I can take that in and realize it. And then I always love when she says, like, what's playing? And he goes, it's Debussy.
Debussy.
These old 2000s movies, the music usually is the thing that carries it, because they had great music back then. And so, like, the one where it's like, ha 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 ha.
What was it? My big brother described that kind of music as theme song music.
Right,
because it can be a theme and it can be anywhere inside the movie.
Yeah, I love those.
There's like
though.
endless numbers of there's like endless numbers of those kinds of songs.
Right after she goes to the hospital and Edward's like, well, no one's gonna believe you. Also, that scene is very strange because, like, he basically admits to being a vampire, And it
To her face.
and then at the end of it he goes, well, no one's gonna believe you anyways. And it's like, this wasn't an argumentative conversation. Should you have reshot the entire scene argumentative? It's like they ran out of film. Like they didn't even do 2 takes because they couldn't afford to.
It was just weird because I was like, it was like he strayed away from the entire reason for this conversation. She was talking to him because like, how the fuck did you do all this?
Yeah.
So no one's
Yeah.
gonna believe that I actually stopped the car.
Yeah,
Motherfucker,
and
that's
then
not what we're talking about.
the next day on the field trip, he goes, oh, about yesterday, about how I saved you. I had an adrenaline rush. You can Google it. And he starts
You can
smiling.
Google it.
He starts smiling like he got away with it and he's real slick. It's like,
It's like he Googled it last night. Like, how
Well,
can people move fast?
but he like just admitted to it yesterday. Like, why are you making a new excuse?
He was like, tell me what I am. When she was like, they were in the woods and he was like slowly walking up behind her.
Yeah.
Tell me what I am. Are you scared? And then the nigga started jumping tree to tree. And I was just like, what?
Yeah,
Is this supposed to be startling?
the way that they choose to reveal his powers, it's just very strange. Like he like rips a tree off the ground, right? Or what does he
Yeah,
do?
he like rips a root out of the
Yeah.
side of like a mud wall or something. And just flings it 30 feet. So
Yeah.
you can't. No, then he was like, "You can't fight me off. You can't outrun me.
Yeah.
should be scared of me. I'm a man."
Yeah.
I was just like, "Oh my god."
There's interesting parts of the vampire lore that they do, like you were saying, the one guy who comes in during their baseball game. It's really cool because they play baseball with him and it's almost like a fun scene, but you're also worried that he's gonna find out Bella's not a vampire. Or that isn't she like hiding in the truck or something? That's an interesting like way to establish tension because they're just playing a baseball game, but like she's right there.
And the crazy last villain just has. They were like, he has such good perceptive powers. I
Oh
was like,
yeah, that he could.
what?
Oh my god!
And then they just.
This is
Wait,
the same
you go first?
movie. This is the same movie where like Edward tells her she has to lie to her dad, right?
Yeah, oh, and she said, I said the same thing to him that my mom said when she ran out on him. I said, damn. Oh my
It was like you
God.
didn't have to destroy him in that scene. Like,
You
what are
could-
you doing?
Oh my, and like he was so, he was like a sad pug. Like the whole, he was like, please don't leave.
Yeah.
We can have fun. I know. And she was like, what, we're gonna have fun watching baseball on the big TV? You boring, we're gonna drink beers. I was like,
Yes.
holy shit.
Yeah, that was that part also made me go like, wow, if her mom said that, her mom is like the villain. Like she's the worst because like
Oh god, she's the villain.
how
But
can you
no.
be mad at him? He's so nice.
Also, like the whole side story where like she's traveling with the stepdad because he's a minor league baseball player, and then he just decided to live in Jacksonville, Florida, for no reason.
Yeah.
Which is, you know,
Oh man, there's a scene in the next movie, I think. It's the next movie where she goes to Florida for like a scene and it's clearly like a soundstage to make Florida. And so like they're sitting on like a porch and it's all sunny and they're on a beach and I'm like, you couldn't just go to Florida? Bella has Apple Generation 1 earbuds, which I thought was kind of nice. It felt very, very much like my childhood.
it did. The big ass fat gray iPod. Holy shit.
Oh my god, yeah, when she talked to her mom, did you see how I thought it was her calculator? It was so like chunky.
It was a closed flip phone. It was just the phone. I thought it was like closed. I
It was so
confused.
big. I wrote when she starts talking to other students, this is when she was meeting the kid during volleyball. I said,
Yeah. Oh.
I feel like I'm forgetting what they're saying in real time.
I think that's the moment she instantly became popular in high school. That's the
Yeah, I
'cause,
guess
like,
she was
after
popular.
then everybody was friends with her.
I guess she was popular. I'm trying to figure it out because you said that. Like, was she popular or was she being bullied?
Yeah, because it was so. Because like
The one
guy
guy
was
had a
being-
crush
like,
on her.
People asking her to. Yeah, people asking
Yeah.
her to prom, all these people saying that they're her friend, went prom dress shopping with these people. Then all of a sudden people
Oh
throwing shit
yeah.
at her. People saying, yo, car looks like shit. It's,
Oh my
it's just
god.
crazy.
That part I was telling you about where the camera blurs because she's looking past, right before that,
Looking
this
looking
is
through him so
looking
fucking
through
hard.
him. The scene right before that, before it switches to him asking her, is the Colons pulling in a Jeep, and the big one is just standing up fucking in the Jeep, standing outside of the car
On the outside of the top.
and watching her as they go by. Like, what are you doing? Are you trying to blend in?
When the big guy in his all white outfit when they first came in, he was wearing this like sweater and it had but it had like a hood. Like I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
It's so strange. It just
Yeah,
stuck out to me because he
he's
doesn't even like try and dress up.
he's like
With the
in
buzz cut, it's hilarious.
he's like inhumanly tall. I throughout the movies he looks so out of place, but like I don't even think that it's that he's like way older than everybody. I think that he's just incredibly tall for some reason. It's like a foot. He looks like Michael Orr. Um, Bella's dad eats hot Cheetos and drinks beer, which
I said, hey man, it's 2008, man.
that's not.
You
It's,
got to
that doesn't.
2008 was a wild time,
That
man.
does not mean your stomach is now made of like fucking iron. Like it's
Titanium gut. You used to have a titanium gut in '08, man.
and it was crazy too because he was like half done with the beer. She comes up to the table and she like dumps the hot Cheetos to see if there's anything out of it, and it's empty. So he fucking demolished the hot Cheetos, downed half a beer. Like what? Like how is he doing that? I don't know.
Also, another good beer scene is when he has two beers in front of him while loading a double shotgun when Edward's coming to meet him
Oh my
for the
god.
first time.
Yeah, that was one of the. That's another reason that I love his character is that he's like, all right, send him in.
I've made a point to screenshot it where it has like 3, 4, like yeah. Oh, hold up, only four shotgun shells next to two beers,
Yeah,
and it's him in the middle of. He cocks it with one hand to look cool. He said,
yeah. Do you think he? What do you think it would take to kill a vampire in this world?
"Shit, they had a triple team hold his arms apart." He said to
Oh
like
yeah,
tear him to pieces and burn him alive or something.
yeah. I
He
guess
said,
you do have to like burn it, but do you think
so,
like
like
a
if there's,
bullet?
but like Edward made it seem like
Oh well, he stopped the
you're like
car.
yeah, like next to impenetrable. So even though
Yeah,
they be like stakes in the heart kill vampires, I think like fire is the main one in this universe. Like
yeah. I mean, I guess bullets could be hot enough. Whatever. I don't know how it would work, but
no, they definitely would not think
yeah.
about that in
No,
this.
no, they would not.
They would.
I kind of like the oversimplification that they do for vampires in this because it's kind of like instead of like they can't turn into bats, I'm pretty sure. I don't think they turn into bats in any of the movies.
Yeah, no.
And I'm kind of all right with that. But they're all kind of like Superman. Like they're pretty much all
Yeah,
Superman without the heat
and
vision.
and they all have their own like quirk powers. Like his
Mhm.
sister could like see visions. He could like
Yeah.
read minds.
That was another interesting bit too, and I really liked that, and because I didn't even notice it in the first few movies, but like later on in the franchise, it's really annoying. Like they,
Their own quirk things.
yeah, they introduce a bunch of stereotype vampires, and the last one, so they want to do their end game, right? And so
Yeah.
they bring in they're like, we're gonna finally kill the vampire council. And so they're like, if we're gonna do that, we're gonna need help. And then they bring in like Albanian vampires, and they're like, we're here to help. And they've got like hats on from their country, and then and they're like, oh, our power is fucking we can stretch or something like that. I don't know. Everybody has like
What?
everybody has stupid ass powers, and they're all like complete stereotypes.
I like the ones like in this movie like simple like she can like doesn't like get full visions but like can sketch out where it was
Right.
or like
Yeah.
he said he can read like like not like read your mind, but he can like get like an idea of what you're thinking of.
Right.
He's talking about I'm super stretchy. What?
I don't know if that's an actual power, but like they've got
No, but that like I'm saying, I like how it's
yeah.
more like subtle and
Like, have you seen Castlevania at all?
yeah. I watched it with my girlfriend.
Yeah, dude, that series has its own set of cringe. Like, there's quite a bit of cringe in that show.
Especially towards the ending of the series, it gets
When he, well, I will say when he fucking kills Death, that's awesome.
that was cool.
I
That
also
was
love
cool.
Isaac. Do you remember Isaac? He's
What does he
like
look like?
he's a human guy, and he was in
The black guy, yeah.
yeah, and he was like he got turned into a slave, and then like he fucking kills his slave master, raises demons, and goes throughout like Africa
Taking
killing
over the world.
colonists. Dude, that guy was fucking lit. That was one of my favorite characters.
I'm not gonna start on how strange like the ethnicities and like different because like they're supposed to be in what country were they supposed to be?
Transylvania. Well, oh yeah, Wallachia.
Wallachia, and that was east like northeastern Europe.
Right. Yeah.
So like, and then there'd just be like British and like Scottish people there, like with a deep. Then like
Yeah.
there's a Jamaican guy who picked up Isaac from the middle of Africa, from in the middle of the
Yeah.
Mediterranean.
I
this
think
ship
there's
guy.
some, but I mean, there's a part where like Dracula saves him by teleporting him to the desert at one point. So
Yeah.
there is teleportation. So I mean, it could be that whenever Dracula was like, we need to raise an army, he went there to get him. I don't know. I don't really remember this series, but in broad strokes. But I thought the way it handled vampires, like Dracula was a menace. Dracula could fucking wipe out a village in a second.
And he did. And
Yeah.
He did.
That's what I loved about that series, was that it really handled it with a lot of weight. And Twilight's doing this thing where they're like nice vampires.
They got good qualities. They got.
Well, I mean, like
They
they're not gonna, they're trying to blend in.
They were so quick to trust Bella.
Bella, yeah.
Like so, except like that one sister who got mad when she tagged her out in baseball or something.
Oh yeah, it's
Uh,
funny too because it's like all the other human. It's not like they have any other human friends, and all the other humans are stupid, like we've discussed.
Oh God!
So like, why would you
said, they
just
have, like, a
accept
third-
one?
Like you said, they have a third. Like it feels like they have a third grade education. Because no
Yeah.
way, these obviously stand out, pale, old weirdos. And you don't be like, when their dad's like the head doctor of the whole fucking city, apparently.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Forks, Washington. Did you know? So that's a real town, and they filmed like one scene in the real town, which was when she's driving in and she's in the truck with her dad, which I've always thought looked like a green screen truck. They're actually in Forks then, and they're actually filming
When they
locals.
drive past the sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been told the lady who plays Mystique, as you go on through the movies, gets more and more like, I want to die. I don't want to be in these movies.
Oh, Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, and by the end of it, they make excuses for her character to not be blue because she doesn't want to wear the makeup.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's how Bella's actor does throughout these movies. She, like in the first one, she's giving this dry ass performance. It gets much drier as the movies go on. Like
How?
she becomes
I-
more stagnant with her face. It's crazy.
I think I only saw her give emotion once when she was in the hospital, and I was like, maybe I should leave you alone. After she towards the end of the movie, she's like, don't ever say that again. Okay, like that's the end. They just go to fucking prom, and like that's the end of the
Yeah.
movie.
Oh, and they
Like-
they don't really go to prom, do they? They like dance away from it, right? They're like,
Oh yeah, they fucking leave prom because you're the outsiders that are just popular.
I mean, I left my prom, but like, I don't know.
And Michael Lord probably got like race crime. The coach was like, he didn't even know what football was till I came in his life.
Oh my god, that is the canon reason for that movie existing.
They took it too literal. They took it too literal.
I feel like that's so accurate because they sort of downplayed it from the guy's story. So that's like actually what would be real, that somebody told him
Like I said, the Blind Side feels like it's a third party account from what someone else told you about Michael Orr.
Yeah, it's like Michael Orr's
And, like,
cousin.
Michael Orr's cousin who didn't make it to the NFL. Michael was stupid. What they don't tell you is Michael was stupid as fuck. That's what they don't tell you. I was the smart one. That's why I didn't play football.
Where do you think the story is going from here? Where do you hope it goes from here?
I hope he goes nowhere.
Oh yeah, you hope that she moves
But-
from Forks to Jacksonville?
Bruh, and then just it ends the whole series.
Mm-hmm.
But like, of course, everybody knows Taylor Lautner is gonna. I don't think that's the second movie.
Yeah, it is.
Is that the second?
Yeah,
It
that's
is?
the second one.
Well, he got big and muscular, like you said, grew up, full face changed.
I'll tell you how I would have done it. Like, he goes to the reservation school, which I think is such a mistake. Like, you could so easily just have him in the high school, and then instead of having these stupid ass characters that we're like, who the fuck are you? You're like an NPC. Like, we would have had actual
Here's
drama.
The word. Here's the word.
That was an actual scene. He was like, Bella, here's a worm. Ha ha, worm.
Word. Here's the word.
Edward and her were talking about the accident and how he saved her. Fucking 5 feet away from the person in front of them. Maybe 3 feet.
Yeah.
I
didn't
and then-
notice.
And none of the
Bruh.
students were like, hey, Bella, are you okay from the wreck? How did Edward there save you? We all saw him jump out of the car.
The one guy who asked her to prom that she obviously fucking thinks is a goofy for some reason.
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, look at you, you're alive," and that's all he said about it. I do wish Jacob was like in the high school because like at the end when like they're at prom and he just mysteriously comes out the woods and says, you shouldn't be dating Edwards. I got paid to say this. Haha, funny.
Yeah, the
haha, you
post-credit
shouldn't date
scene.
him."
Yeah.
And then fucking Edward comes in, gives him the craziest look ever. I should have taken a screenshot and says, "I'll take it from here, Jacob," and like carries her away. Like
It's so
back at him, like
strange.
looking back at him like 7 times, but we barely have any reference except that one weird anonymous story he told about pilgrims and natives.
It's
like,
so strange because like he's not really in the movie. Like he has no right to be
Yeah.
jealous yet. Like there's no reason for that.
He literally talked to her and then like showed her how to like turn her engine on in her car. I think
So-
that's what happened.
I have that scene almost memorized too. Thank you for bringing that up. So immediately the first day that she comes into town, her dad bought her a truck from his friend whose son was friends with her, I guess when they were really little and they made mud pies
Mud
together.
pies. Yeah.
And that scene is so weird. So first of all, like he's like, I totally rebuilt the engine for you. And then they both like get into the car and she's like, what? Sick. That's the other acting part that she did. She goes like, for real? This is my car? And then she
My
kind of
truck
left
made-
that. Yeah.
looked like an '85 Chevy.
Like
At the best.
it's a nice truck. It's cool, but like then they get in and he says you got to double pump the clutch. So first of all, when he says I totally rebuilt the engine, she like freaks out like she's a car nerd and she loves that. Then she gets in the car and he says you got to double pump the clutch because of blah blah blah, and she goes, "Oh, the clutch is this one?" And it's like, what are you doing?
I remember that because I was thinking, like, does she know how to drive stick?
Yeah. Oh, it's very strange.
No, I think they only put that part in because then, like, the very next scene is her pulling up the guy with, like, nice wheels.
No,
So I think
because the whole reason for that conversation is because she goes, "Hey, do you want me to drive you to school too?" And he goes,
yeah.
"No, I go to school at the
reservation."
reservation." And it's like the whole scene is just to say, "Hey, if you don't know what Native American people are, this is a Native American person.
This is a Native American person. They live on
Right.
reservation.
So I think this movie will age well in like 2050 when people come back to archives and don't know what a Native American person is.
When Native Americans are basically extinct.
Yeah,
Except in
no,
like,
when we're living on starships and we decide to pull out Twilight from 2008 to watch.
it wasn't as bad. I enjoyed it more this time than the others. I'll say
I actually noticed myself liking the pacing a lot. I do think that the villain subplot was completely added in because, like, did you notice the first? I noted the time that the villain was introduced was at 15 minutes in the movie. She right after she gets into the wreck, she goes, after that things got weird, and then it transitions to like the villain guy killing a bunch of workers, and
yeah.
yeah, and I thought that was really weird, and then I thought when they stole the boat was really weird, and
And
like
they killed like Bella's dad's friend or whatever.
yeah, and like he just rips off his shirt, I'm pretty sure, for no reason several times.
It said these humans say the same thing when they get caught. I was like,
It's strange that like you've got such potential for a villain in these movies, like because the vampires have to like hide who they are. They have to eat like synthetic blood, or no, they eat wild animals. Like they're treated
fucking,
they're treated like monsters, right? And so you could have a vampire who's like, we shouldn't have to live like this. We shouldn't have to be afraid to kill. What's the thing, the excuse that she uses at the hospital? Like she says I fell downstairs or something.
her mom wakes her up and she's like, honey, you said you were on the way back, and Edward and his dad came to stop you. And while you were in the hotel, you fell down 2 flights of stairs and flew out a window.
Yeah.
You're so clumsy.
Yeah,
Like, what?
yeah, you're so
Like
clumsy.
at that point, I would have believed like Edward and his dad beat the fuck out of you more than you fell down 2 flights of stairs and jumped out a window.
Exactly. Yeah, and then the first thing that her dad asks is like, "Oh, is Edward hurting you?" And she's like, "No." Like,
Like,
what? But what
like,
actually happens to her, right? She like does fall down a balcony or something like that, right?
yeah, she got like thrown through a window and broke her and her
That's
leg
why
broke. And she
that's why
one
I
of her
thought like,
arteries was bleeding out.
oh my god, yeah, that's right. That's right. They like almost had to turn her into a vampire.
He's like, we're just passing through. We're not trying to be in your feeding areas
Oh
of the
yeah.
place.
Yeah.
And he's like, we claim here permanent residence. And I'm like, do y'all like, is this, I'm so confused. Do y'all have borders and like fucking hunting grounds that, and then different like vampire sects have their own hunting ground?
So
Like,
that's never
confused.
something that's like expanded on properly, like where the borders lie, except with the vampires and the wolves. And I
Yeah.
remember one of the things that they do in one of the movies is like they've got another one of those forget me villains, and the way that they get the way that they kill him, like whatever villain it is they just go into the wolf territory, like they border on the wolf territory, and they go into the wolf territory, and the wolves like fucking kill them. By the way,
Fuck.
there's some fire wolf scenes in either this one or the last one, like the next one we're gonna watch, because like the wolf tribe, there's some stupid ass stuff about the wolf tribe. Like there's this thing they have where if they
Are you
look at
saying Native Americans are
no,
stupid?
no,
Is
no,
that
no,
what
no,
you're
no, no, no,
saying?
no, 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 no. No, they
Oh my God. Jesus. Oh.
no, they like if you look at somebody, your eyes. You remember in Transylvania, Hotel Transylvania, when she says, "I got zinged. I zinged with a human."
Yeah.
It's very similar to that, where they say like, if you zing with somebody that you look at, it's not controllable. You're in love with them forever, and they're in love with you, and there's no choice.
And that's why he's in love with Bella. Or,
No, he thinks that he is, but he didn't zing with
oh,
her. You know who he zings with?
oh.
Okay, the fact that you don't know that, is amazing. Let's keep it that way until the last movie, because you're gonna flip the fuck out. Overall, what's your rating for Twilight 1?
Overall, second ever watching my whole life.
Twilight 1, the first Twilight. Let's just be
Twilight
specific.
won the first Twilight.
Yeah.
Twilight Begins.
Twilight Begins.
See, I like some of it. I really like visually. I was really good in visual arts. I really like how it looks visually.
Yeah, me too.
But the actual movie itself,
Yeah, the content, the story. Ooh. If you could rate it 1, visuals, and then 2, music, and then 3, the movie as a whole.
visuals, I'll give it a good 7.5 or 8. It looked really good. Well, some points looked really good.
Yeah.
For music, it had a score. I'll give that like a 7, 8.
I don't even mind the original stuff in the score. Like the actual
Yeah.
Twilight theme and stuff is pretty good.
God, the story. Story of love. Story of love. It's a 3. It's a 2 or a 3. That's the actual story. I will give it a 4 because of the dad.
That's totally respectable. I'm pretty close there. I think the visuals would be like an 8. It's actually kind of astonishing what they've done without like a big budget. Like the fact that they were able to shoot it on film was like a big thing. The fact that it's not on digital makes it age so much better. I like all the scenes in the classroom. The sets are really good, you know. So I guess like an 8.2 is probably the best I can give it.
Respectable.
Which is great for a movie that's not like going into space. It's not like doing anything insane. It's pretty like it stays in its lane.
On IMDb.
At what?
It had a 5.2 on IMDb.
The music is fucking great. I don't even know what to rate that. Like the score it's so unique. It's not like Harry Potter, and it's not like it's fucking good.
It's not like whimsical or crazy.
Yeah.
It fits the movie really well.
I wouldn't say that. It fits what the movie wants to be.
Not like the actual not like the actual.
Yeah. The movie as a whole, I don't think you could call it so bad that it's good. I don't think like anybody like our generation will grow up with it being like, haha, remember when we watched those? And like we'd watch them to laugh at them, but like I don't think if you're like a Gen, whatever comes after Z, like 2 years. Yeah.
My little brother.
Like if you're 18 watching this now, like in the future, there's no reason for you to watch these movies. You will find nothing here but pain.
And you might only hear about these movies from us making fun of those movies.
Yeah.
Like, just keep that in mind.
Like, I think if you're a film student, maybe there's some cinematography things you could learn from this.
Yeah.
Like
The lighting.
Yeah, the lighting, the way that... Oh, yeah, the lighting, I forgot how good it is.
So after this, we kind of went on an hour-long talk, just forgetting about the review. We talked about The Blind Side, school, things that are happening in the world today, and I sort of just forgot about the review. So I never gave my full score. I would give it like a 4.8. He gave it something like a 4.2, and I think it's a little better than that. It's certainly enjoyable. I always enjoy returning the movie. I think it was a little bit harsh, and I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to exude some positivity, but enjoy what you want, and happy spooky season. I'm so excited for spooky season, and leading up to Halloween, we're going to be watching every single Twilight. I don't know if CJ will be joining me for every single one of these, but I do have friends that are lined up just in case he quits. So no matter what, we're going to get through every single Twilight movie together, and I really hope you enjoy this time, and I sure am. I'm excited to dress up for Halloween. Let me know what you thought of the Twilight movies in the comments. Let me know what you're going to dress up as for Halloween, or if you celebrate Halloween at all. No matter what, remember to love yourself and have a great day.